Hi everyone, this is Myra from Myra's Craftings. How's everybody doing today? Today is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you some beads, different kind of beads, different sizes, different material, what you could possibly do with them. I'll show you some of the pieces I've used these beads on, and we'll just have a lot of fun. And I want you to get a education on the different kind of things out there that you can use. Now, possibly I don't have everything, but I have a lot. So let's get started and let's have fun. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the most basic, I don't want to say basic, but the most used bead, which is the round bead. Okay, I'm going to show you a variety of different sizes. I've seen round beads from 24 mm to 3 or 4 mm. So let's get started. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one right here. Okay, now this one right here, I'm going to use this beadable pen to show you how they look. It's just easier that way to handle and hold and for you guys to see it well. Now this bead right here, right, it has like this galaxy look. We call it galaxy beads because it has these like almost looks like stars inside, okay, like a galaxy, right? And it is a beautiful color. It also comes in variety of colors. This is another color. And I personally have it in red, black. I have it in pink, blue, green. So I have it in variety of colors. So this is the red right here. You could see the sparkle. You see that? And that's why they're called galaxy beads. Okay? Because of that sparkle right there. So that's the first bead. Then I could show you these right here. These are called frosted beads, right? And they also carry this shine, this aurora borealis look. I don't know if you could see that, but it is such a beautiful bead. I love this bead actually, and very lightweight compared to the acrylic ones I just showed. And it comes, I have this in a 16 millimeter, and this is, I think it's a 12 millimeter. So they do come in variety of sizes. I think they also come in 10 millimeter. And they are just gorgeous. They give you that aurora borealis look. They are amazing, guys. They're really, really beautiful. Now, these other ones, these are acrylic, but they also have a UV coating on it. So these tend to be a little bit more expensive than the regular bead with no UV coating. And you could tell the UV coating. Look how pretty that is. Very shiny, very attractive, right? And then they also do this with it. They also put some kind of gold designs on them, right? And this is actually not a sticker. This is actually in the bead, okay? So again, these are UV coated, 16 millimeter, great for doing phone charms or keychains or anything really, or even the pens. Speaking of pens, we also have, this is also considered a bead, right? It is a pom-pom. It's considered a bead because you could actually go through it, right? It has two holes like a regular bead. Now, this is a pom-pom, right? It comes in a variety of colors. Here today, I have these two colors. Now, I have them again in blue, green, red, purple, black, white. I mean, and now they also have animal print. They have zebra print. It's just non-endless. They have different material. They have like a tweed color. But these, I just wanted to show you, again, these are considered a bead, okay? You could use it in multiple ways. I'm sure you've seen them, and if you've seen any of my work, you'll see I've used them on my phone charms, I've used them on pens. Matter of fact, let me show you this pen. It has this pom-pom bead on there, okay? So you see the pom-pom beads, all right? And this is a focal bead, all right? And these sometimes come undrilled, meaning it doesn't have a hole. And I personally drilled a hole here. So again, this is how you could use those. All right. And in between these beads right here, something called spacers. These are spacers and these are spacers. We'll talk about that in another video. Okay, so back to the beads. So now you know these are the pom-pom beads. Now, we also have something called pearlized beads, okay? Now these beads right here have like a pearl texture, luster to it, okay? And these are beautiful, right? If you don't want to use pearls, pearls are expensive. You can use something like this. It has a texture of a pearl, all right? Again, these are all acrylic with just different textures and coatings. Now, we also can have something called metallic. These are metallic beads, all right? They actually look like metal, but they have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful metallic look to them. And these are great for like Christmas season. And I use a lot of metallics. I just love the way the metallics look, okay? And they give a beautiful shine without being overboard, okay? And they also have something in between, kind of like between a metallic, right? This one, kind of like a space looking bead, right? Let me show you what it looks like on this side and then this side here. Again, you could use these in a variety of ways: phone charms, keychains, badge reels, anything. And these are pretty light actually. And then we have, now we're gonna get a little bit crazier. Now these are 18 millimeter beads. Let me show you the difference in size. Okay, so this is an 18 millimeter, this is a 16 millimeter. Okay, I just wanted to show you the difference. These what we call a berry bead rhinestone. Okay, it has a rhinestone look, but it doesn't have the actual rhinestone. It's just the luster of the rhinestone. And these are beautiful. These are an alternative, light alternative, because we all know rhinestone is pretty heavy. So these are light alternative to be used. Let me see if I have one. I don't have one right now, but I'm sure I do somewhere. But these are great for pens, for anything really. You can use these anywhere you possibly use a bead. Okay, and this is another color, right? And just let me show you the variety of colors it comes in. Now these are gorgeous. They look like candy. I love these. These are beautiful. These are beautiful. Okay, all right. And then we have a sugar bead. Again, a sugar bead. Now, it looks like sugar. That's why they call it sugar bead. Now they've been selling, the only thing with sugar beads, sometimes you have to kind of screw them in because, you know, the sugar gets in the hole. The hole is big enough, but once you get through, it's fine, see? And there's different kind of sugar. There's this kind and there's some other kind. It's kind of like almost like little bubbles, okay? And those are the ones I prefer, but sometimes I use these, it's fine. Again, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, right? And has these like little rhinestone in there mixed in. So these are a great alternative too for a little shine if you don't like too much bling bling. If you like just a little shine, these are great for that. Okay, now so far I've been showing you beads that have like what we call up and down hole, right? The hole is from top to bottom. Now there's also beads that are side to side hole, like this one. Okay, these are actually wonderful for if you're doing a body chain or a charm. You definitely use it. You could actually use them in hair ties. Most of the time they're made for hair ties. Sometimes I use them in my phone charms. It depends and how it looks. But I just wanted to give you an idea. That's also an option for you. And then we have beads like these. Let me show you. Now these beads I love, love, love. Now these beads are usually clear, right? Let me put them here. Are usually clear, and then they have something inside of them. Like this one has gold flakes and pieces of like a heart in there, okay? So this is just one color. It comes in a variety of color. Let me show you. Let me put this back in. Like here's the green, okay? You could see like here's the hearts right here. Here's the gold flakes. Okay. So here, that's what that looks like. And then look at this red. I think. Here we go. This red right here. These are beautiful. I use these in my phone charms and a lot of my crafts. I can make bracelets. I can make everything with these. These are just gorgeous. These are 16 millimeter. Okay. Again, they're a little more costly because, you know, they have a design and gold flakes on the inside. So they're a little more costly than your regular bead. And then we also have something like this. This is, they look like pearls. They actually are acrylic though. They're not pearls. They are acrylic. Okay. And they just look like pearls. Okay. And these are 14 millimeter ones. 14. Let me show you the difference. 16, 14. Okay, so you know. And then you have fun things like this, right? Candy with a bunny on it. Now there's a lot of fun beads, right? And then you have things like I'm gonna have to move this, guys. I'm so sorry. Something like these. Now, these might look like the berry beads I showed you. I actually show it to you side by side. These are berry beads, right? The ones I just showed you, the 18. These are 22, right? But these actually have rhinestones on them. They might look like these, but they're not. They actually have rhinestones on them. And this is some ways I've used them on pens, for instance, right? Here, again, these are the same, right? These don't have the rhinestone on them. They kind of like look like they do, but they don't. It's just a shine. But these actually, you could tell the difference is they actually have rhinestones on them, okay? And then you have things like this with pearls and rhinestones on it. These are a little bit expensive, obviously, because there's more work involved, more detail in these, okay? And then you have something like this, right? This is silicone beads, okay? And they have like a rubber touch to them. These are silicones, all right? This is also considered a bead because it has a hole, right? But it's a focal, okay? That's what we call a focal bead, okay? Again, these are rubber touch silicone, okay? And then let me show you this one. Now, these are pearl texture, right? You have this bead right here. This is a rhinestone and pearl bead. This is a beautiful rhinestone bead. These are also focals. You could use them on top of pens. You could use them in your phone charms, keychains, badge reels. I mean, I've seen them on everything and anything. So here's another one. Now, let me introduce you to this. This is so pretty, okay? Now, this is a 3-layer, okay? This is still considered a bead. It has a hole, right? I could pretty much fit. This one you have to screw on a little bit. Okay, so I can't really put that one on there. But you could drill it with a hole and make the hole bigger. And then this goes inside of this. And then they all go inside each other right there. And you could use that as one bead. And then you could put something like, let's see if I have something here. Just an idea, just to give you an idea. So it's like a little flower. I mean, it's so gorgeous. I love this. It shines. It's just beautiful. You could use that on pretty much anything. And then you have things like this, right? Beautiful flowers. I cannot possibly sit here and show you every bead. I'll be here for years, guys, but I'm just trying to give you an idea what you could possibly do or have. I have a lot. Now, let me show you this key one. This one is actually 2-piece, all right? So this one goes like, excuse me, sorry. Well, I thought I can, but it doesn't fit on a pen. But how these work is you take this one, and when you feed through the hole here, you feed through this hole as well, and it'll look like this. How gorgeous is that? Oh my God, there's so many possibilities. There's hearts, stars. I mean, everything and anything you could possibly think of. All right. Now, these are plastic. You could actually hear it, right? So they're very light. Now, let me show you also here. This is another one. You could actually put a small, like, I think it was like an 8mm bead in this one. And this one actually fits on a pen. Let's see. So how beautiful is that? Oh my God. There's so many possibilities and things you could do with these. It's just amazing. It's really amazing the amount of things you could do. Now, I showed you round beads. These are also considered beads. These are cubes, okay? And sometimes they come with stickers, or sometimes they come up here. These are like stickers with imprinted, or sometimes here they come like this. This is cheese, guys. This looks like cheese. Or sometimes they come with a certain design on them. I've seen people use them for multiple things. I personally use them sometimes, not a lot of times, especially if I'm making key rings. Not key rings, excuse me, keychains. Not phone charms, but keychains to hang your keys on. I use these a lot for that. All right, so that's that. Now, we also have things like this. This is not a sticker. This is actually on the bead, right? It says, I love you. Look, and it comes in a variety of colors. It is gorgeous. I mean, there's so much you could do. There's so much you could do. Let me show you something. You could take other things that are not beads and turn them into beads. Let me explain what I mean by that. I'll show you now. You see this? This is acrylic. This is not a bead. All right, acrylics are charms. Okay, so there's a piece here that you could use, right? And turn the acrylic into a bead. Okay, and then you could put it on whatever you want to put it on. Okay, so it's on a piece right here, right? You could actually buy those. And if you can't find them, reach out to me and I'll let you know where you could find them. Oh, here's a galaxy beads in pink. They're gorgeous. And these are spacers, right? I'll do another tutorial about spacers and what you could possibly do with spacers. But this is one way to use spacers, right? These are galaxy pink. And again, I used this acrylic and I turned it into a bead, right? So I could put it on this pen. How gorgeous is that? Oh my God, this is so much fun. I love Tokidoki, guys. I just love these. All right. Here's another one. Okay. Again, I used that acrylic piece to turn this into a bead, right? So, and you don't have to use acrylic. You could take this and put anything on it and turn it into a bead. Okay. Again, spacers. And this is, here we go. Here's the rubber touch. I was telling you about beads. And this is just a black regular acrylic bead. And then, let me see what else I could show you. Oh, now, these are another beads. They're hand-painted beads. They're actually painted by hand. Okay, now these beads, very, very expensive. So you have to use them sparingly. So here we go. And they come in different shapes and sizes. I'll show you I kind of showed you the cubes before. I'll show you a few more. So you have this one. You have this. Look at this. Isn't it cute? Now, these are cute because you could actually get faces printed on them, letters, shapes, anything really. You could use them for anything. Let me show you an instant. This is something I've made. It's a bracelet, right, with hand-painted beads that have M on it. And how beautiful is that? These are 16 millimeter, okay, 16 millimeter. Again, these are pricey. The hand-painted beads are more pricey than the regular acrylic, obviously, because there's a lot more work on them. Let me give you some more example. This is another example of a bead. It's a double layer. They call it double layer because there's a layer inside and a layer outside. But it's also hand-painted. So here we go. How beautiful is that? And then you have this kind of hand-painted. These are solid. They're called solid hand-painted beads because they're on a solid colored bead. And here we go. They have a bear on them. It says hot. Hot, 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 hot. That's cute. And then got Mr. Santa on here, and it's on a solid bead, right? And they also come in clear. I'm going to look if I have one right here. I'll show you. So the bead could be a solid color or it could be a clear color. Okay. So kind of a clear would look like kind of almost like this, like clear. You could see through it. And it's hand painted as well. And then you have something like this. Look at the detail on this. Look at the detail on that. That is so cute. Again, pricey. I have to tell you, they are pricey, but they are worth it. They are gorgeous. Okay. And then they're not just round beads. There's also flat beads. I'm sorry. These are charms. I apologize. This is a charm. Ignore that one. But you could take the charm, right? Something like this that you like. You could drill a hole from down here all the way to the top and make it into a bead. Or, again, use that attachment right here and make it into a bead. There's other attachments as well. I'm going to go over the attachments and things like that on another video. So you have flat beads like this. Okay. So then it's not just round. There's flat. There's all kinds of shapes, right? Character shapes. Now, let me show you some more things here. This is a bead, guys. Look. This is a bead. What I did here, I'm going to be totally transparent. What I did here is I took a snow globe. I think it was a 3 centimeter snow globe. And I turned it into a bead. And then I hung this. This is also a bead, right? I could show you that later on another video how to do something like this. But they are beads like this. Okay? And then I just put confetti and a light in there. So here's the square bead. And these are rhinestone beads. Now these they're heavier. This is not rhinestone. These are rhinestone. This is that berry bead I told you that kind of looks like it has rhinestone. But It still has that nice glitter to it, doesn't it? And then I'm gonna show you some rhinestone beads and what it kind of like. They comes all shapes and sizes and how much glitter, it doesn't matter. Like, these are clay, okay, and they have rhinestone on them. You could actually drill them more if you want to put them on a pen. You have to drill them a little bit more. They're made out of clay. You could sometimes just screw them on. I don't want to do that because I'm gonna not be able to take it off, but you could actually screw them on. So this is just 2 colors, and they come in variety of colors. Oh, I forgot to show you these. Let me put these on the side. Now, these right here, this is a 12 mm bead, right? Acrylic bead. And then they have something, it's a spacer, right? It's a different kind of spacer. It's an acrylic spacer. Again, I will go over spacers on another video, but this is another use for them. You can use them like this, right? On a long rod, which I'll show you later when I do a video on things like supplies and things that you would need. Here's another one. Now these are focal rhinestone beads, right? And again, here's that berry bead in different sizes. This is 18 and this is a 16. No, actually, I'm sorry, that's a 14 mm. And then you have the rhinestone bow. These are all beads, but you could do so much, you know. Just let your imagination run, right? Here, other beads. Here's the metallic, right? It's a balloon. Here's a cloud, right? These are spacers. Again, this is a bead, a cloud, a balloon. So your imagination is the only thing that's required. There's so many things. There's so many beads, disco beads. And then these like half metallic, half clear bead. And then there's something called bead caps that you could put on your beads. I could talk about that on another video. All right. But let your imagination run, okay? Use everything and anything. Sit there and think about, how can I use this? How can I make this into a bead? And I showed you a couple of ways you can make something into a bead, but again, there's so many other ways, and I will show you that on another video. And I hope you guys like this tutorial. It's not really a tutorial, it's more like just showing you guys what's out there. And this is just a very little of what's out there. There's so much more. I'm sure I will be doing another video where I can show you some more things. Pendants, charms, things that you could do with those dolls, you know, silicone. But if you like this video and you like my content, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I will greatly appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you again soon. I love you guys, and I'll see